Morris. I am the project coordinator of Green Rising Barbados.
Could you tell Barbados what is Green Rising Barbados?
Green Rising Barbados is a global initiative of Green Rising Global, where Prime Minister Molly is the global chair for Green Rising. It's an initiative that was launched at COP23, and this is the only island state that is in Green Rising. Now, we are UNICEF sponsored and also partnered with Generation Unlimited out of Canada. So we are focused on engaging youth between the ages of 10 and 29 in blue-green entrepreneurship, advocacy and awareness, and community-based resilience projects. It is the second day in our Shape the Sea workshop. Now, this is where we are going to be developing an underwater museum. So we are bringing students from the Barbados Community College, from the community, from other NGOs, all in one space to let them brainstorm what they would like to see as our underwater reef in Barbados. This workshop is going for 3 days, and tomorrow we are going to see a lot of the designs come to life. We have some of their local specialists here, and Ansel Daniel, and also Jason. They are going to be creating these sculptures out of clay, and now we're going to see how they come to life and really how the youth want to shape the sea marine space in Barbados. It was overwhelming. With 36 registrants here today, we actually had much more than that, and that the space could accommodate, which indicates that there are persons that are out there ready and willing to be a part of this and how they shape Barbados and its marine space and how they play their part in conservation and making sure that our island remains green and beautiful. What we are doing here at Green Rising is focusing on blue-green entrepreneurship. With that, we also encourage the youth to create ideas in and around the issues which we are having, whether it be soil erosion or sargassum, where they can also create businesses and drive economy in that space. So when we're having our water museum, we're going to be incorporating everything else. We're going to be launching that structure. You're going to actually see the actual fabrication later down in the year as part of our 60th celebration, but we're actually going to have a placement come next year. And we are working along with the Coastal Zone Management Unit and other stakeholders so that we can also be able to work the sargassum seaweed issue where we have identified for the positioning of this structure. So we're going to have economy and businesses coming to deal with that issue, and ideas coming from those in the ages of the youth 10 to 29.
Okay, and I know this is a government initiative. Have any private sectors come on board to go with this big project that is happening in Barbados?
Yes, we have several partners throughout the private sector where they want to not just be a part of it, but also encourage the youth, also work with them, also help them grow, help them develop, also teach them some of the business skills that they're going to need going forward. So we have persons, as I said, from government, non-governmental, also private sector, and even church groups involved in Green Rising Barbados.
Privilege, because I got the opportunity to work with some very talented young persons, very keen on making a contribution, and when they understood the scope and the nature of what we're doing, we're basically creating a national monument, and they were very excited. As you can see on the inside, they've been working tremendously, working hard, they're doing the research, and they're really getting into the process of creating the underwater sculpture. They're doing their research, they're asking the right questions, and I think from the initial concept that I see, that we're going to have a very interesting sculpture at the end of the project. I was a bit skeptical at first until, I met them. But I can say that from the first 3 or 4 persons that came in the morning when we first started, I could tell from their energy that this was going to be a great workshop. I could tell from that point on.
I think it's a lovely experience. I've always been interested in cultural and ecological and climate based projects, and I've always been very passionate about climate change and how our future is going as a youth, because that's a future I have to inherit. And I find that this experience has really opened up my knowledge about what I thought I knew and how I can contribute doing more than I already thought I was doing, and how much that we have a say and a matter in what goes on in our future, and how much we can actually contribute rather than just speaking about it and talking about it. We can actually put our hands to do it. I find it's a very positive experience, and there's a lot of things I'm learning just from other students as well, as opposed to just the teachers. And I find that when I was, even on my first day, when I was sitting there hearing other opinions, it sparked my own creativity and my interest and my passion for this project, and it's definitely something that I would like to continue doing for sure. This is our future, and no matter what, we are the youth who are going to inherit it. So I really encourage people, even if you think this isn't something that concerns you, it definitely, even if you don't feel that strongly about climate change and all that, it is such a fun experience, and it's a chance to explore your creativity. If you want to be a marine biologist, I'm learning so much about marine life and how to study that. I'm putting my architecture skills to use that I learned in community college, and if you're an artist, this is also something that could be good for you. It has so many different areas and careers pulled into it that even if you're not necessarily interested in climate and ecology or anything like that, there's so many skills that you can apply to this area that might be interesting to you or fun for you. I've definitely learned a lot about marine biology today. Specifically, we had a marine biologist come talk to us and tell us about different types of coral reef and how the climate change is affecting our coral reefs and how it affects marine life, and even the smallest changes can affect marine life, and that affects life as a whole. I'm also learning about design process and all that, which I would have learned in architecture school, but it's expanding here in a different setting than what I would have learned. And just, you know, how other people apply their separate careers into one thing that can, you know, really bring so many different people together into one project.